Actually, no, let me keep this here, and then we're just gonna. I gotta hear myself a little bit. I had my dental appointment yesterday, and the cleaning process was actually very, you know, efficiently done. It wasn't a very organized place, but the owner was good at what he did. That African man set me straight. He told me, he showed me pics of what would happen if I don't get my shit together with my teeth, and gave me like a list of methods to really improve. I don't know what it is when I start streaming, where suddenly the sensitivity of my touch screen on my phone just dissipates. Let me sound. Okay. Can you hear all that swagger? This is an Advent Children OST, so I guess I should be a little concerned about it, but for now it's a video game OST, so Square, get off my meat. And I'm gonna speak over it, cause who gives a shit? Ugh. So, we got a new event. Seasonal story. So last time I couldn't, upload the VOD of the old one because it had like Advent Children footage, and I didn't want to deal with that BS. No one wanted to touch that shit. Even Buffmeister just skipped to like the fighting. But this one, this is super important for the lead up to part 3 of Trilogy. So I'm just gonna chill and enjoy the story. And I like Glenn as a character. He's very passive aggressive as a himbo. Like, he's a himbo with some attitude. It looks like her outfit shows some heel, which everybody was getting hype over Lucia showing some skin or getting mixed, but I just wanted to know if I would ever see her pretty feet, and it looks like I might see something. The old headphones that I was rocking with for a long time, I even had them in like Hazelton. They finally died. They died while I was watching that short horror film Heck. The kind of precursor film to Skinamarink. I actually liked it a little bit more than Skinamarink. Just because like the concept of them just being in the purgatory situation for all eternity is a little bit more interesting than some entity trapping them in a pocket dimension for all eternity and just manipulating the space around them. I like the son mother connection a little bit more than the brother sister and then both parents connection, because it was a little less complicated, and then you can just kind of feel the symbolic neglect that was happening. And I actually felt like the tone of the movie got a little less brutal when she was shown on frame, even though it was supposed to be like a little bit of a scare seeing her with like no mouth and shit. She, I am paying attention to the story, but I will probably have to double back on all of this. It's not a story that needs like jump scares the way Skinamarink had it. They both kind of succeed in that atmosphere of um, dark hallways and not wanting to like be in this oppressive environment as a kid. Even as a grown up, I kind of deal with it. Where I'm up at a weird ass time. I mean, my pops was like 50 something dealing with it, 40 something dealing with it. Fear of the Dark is primal. And both these stories kind of put you in an environment where you're there forever and you don't really have, coping tools. Okay, Glenn's laying down the law. What town did you have? It's so weird to think about the fact that hmm, this laptop has such a weak battery. I'm gonna have to eventually get up to get some stuff to charge it. Viceroy Saruf. There's some details that I would like to be fleshed out, but I gotta kind of lock in. That's all. And, there's stuff that it's kind of pointless to think too hard on it. He's acting like Naruto in the beginning of part 2, where he's like has his arms open and is standing above, Konoha. Well, this game has to operate under the retcon that Rufus, as the main benefactor, was the true founder of Avalanche. So, what's his common foe in this case? Dissidents of Shinra or Rufus Shinra? I guess that he is after the head of Shinra. It was interesting, and in that sense, this dude was pivotal to Soldier and Avalanche, which kind of make Glenn into a little bit of a bigger Gary Stu than even Zack. Yeah, it must be weird for Glenn to look at Sephiroth like this, because Sephiroth did not have this like crazy long hair, full locks aesthetic. I didn't know that his development has gotten crazy. Ever Crisis kind of set me up so that when I look at young Sephiroth, that feels like normal Sephiroth to me, and this like long-haired motherfucker is the outlier, despite me playing FF7 and backseating it for such a long time. I'm not really keen on how Matt is kind of rocking with the Junpei baseball cap. Okay. So those are two good inferences. Admittedly, he wasn't very good at his job. Hojo did more to accomplish his goal than Rufus did. And I don't think it was deliberate either. He's just like, okay, let's give a bunch of motherfuckers Sephiroth cells, make them into Sephiroth clones, and then Sephiroth started getting active. One of the first things he did through, I guess, the lens of Cloud is let's get some Rufus Shinra stuff going on. Let's get the president of Shinra gone. So we gotta make a good first impression. This OST is fire. If this does show feet for her, I mean, she does have like another outfit that shows feet. I wouldn't mind if we get more like skins. I wouldn't mind, going out and getting that skin because I think I have enough to like start collecting. I have to go check though. So it seems that not all of Wutai's soldiers are Wutaian, thanks to Glenn. Managed to get sympathizers from the other parts and walks of life. Oh, I think those like pink dress like sprites are actually kind of adorable. Not sprites, but models. The Wutai woman. Be nice if we could break this up with some fights against Shinra soldiers. I see Rufus in the back chilling behind that like almost eastern looking tree, and it almost looks bonsai-ish, but it's definitely not a bonsai tree. Watch, bonsai probably translates to like tree. I have to look it up. Honestly, you had to have set that up correctly in order for them to actually mess with that. Okay. We got some more Memoria crystals. Let's go. I'm assuming this is gonna update more over time, but I want to see what leads to this guy getting shot. So if that's all it is, it's breadcrumbing. I'm not gonna front with you. Yes, I got some skins for Cloud because I needed a skin on Sephiroth in order to improve my chances against Genova. Genova Nucleus in the Cetra Tower. So RNG was not on my side then. Whatever. I'm gonna need as many crystals as I can get my hands on in terms of like blue crystal, not like Memoria crystals, because definitely one of my goals is going to be trying to get that Lucia character. No, we only saw her from like the waist up for the most part in that illustration. So while people were thirsting for her, I had my eyes on something else mentally. And stop trying to get me to spend red crystal. I ain't doing it. So one thing I'm really tempted to do at some point is begin. Let me look at how much time I've been doing this. I want to start considering projects on this laptop like Final Fantasy 13. I like those. I want to do this in numerical order, but at the same time, these temp ones are too good to pass up. I might have to change up my setup a little bit to have like earth builds. I suspect that like they'll be true to their word, and in October we'll get an update for what is it? The First Soldier Season 2, like the finale. So they're probably trying to, give us a little bit of an appetizer, especially since we don't know when Crisis Core Chapter 10 or Chapter 9 is going to drop, the conclusion. Where's STG4? I guess when they update this and add STG whatever, that's when we're going to start seeing some other things. I was thinking of doing this later on in the day and then starting off with Dark Cloud, but I'm going to do it the other way around. Okay, let's see. I think that's a smarter strategy. Okay, so he's starting to get a little bit more bite to him. I wonder when like Fujito kind of takes over the main force of Avalanche. Oh, you know what? I realize now. This is probably not like Avalanche quite yet. Rufus is probably starting Avalanche and like Cosmo Canyon with Fujito as we speak, and then this thing will eventually be like Avalanche, his main force during the time of remake, and really around the time of like Traces of Two Pasts. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. Okay, I see the vision. Gotta keep in mind all these retcons, man. Sometimes it's hard to see how it's being synthesized. I gotta say, my body's been craving sleep like crazy because these last couple days, probably been like a week now, I've been behind on sleep. I'm getting like half of what my body typically needs. Is just dangerous as hell. Okay, excellent. Dude, getting them debuffs off. Get him down to halfway. Oh. I got the sound effects a little too loud. Uh-oh. It's getting a little laggy. Frames are dropping. Usually that means that the battery is starting to die out. So let me look at the time. Yeah, I should get to like charging this. I'll be back now. Turn the lamp off. Alright, you know what? Let's power your ass up. I know it's anathema to the higher tier players if you use auto to kind of build your thing up. There's some creative ways of utilizing auto, though. A lot of times the reason you're stuck on a fight is because you need to start building up some weapons. You can't really be too married to like one weapon type. Sometimes auto can make your setup a little bit worse though, so... Like, especially if you fight in auto too. See, the performance is much better now because this thing is no longer entering depth. Sound effects are so satisfying sometimes. I roast them, but other times I listen to it, I go, man, this hits. It sounds a little weird when it's this loud. Dynamics, that's the issue here. Okay, hold on. You're getting worn the fuck out. Man, I'm dying. I'm thinking about sleep from a long time ago. Oof. That debuff made a huge difference. You might want to finish this guy off. That was starting to get scary. Once we started losing party members, I would have... Man, I had to switch to manual and lock in. Okay, so they're holding off for sure. Let's see, what's the thing we can invest in? I like those. So this event ends in October 29th, which means let's try to see when it'll update. Content of the event period held may change. Okay. So yeah, I do see that as like a situation where I'm being. Well, let me check the draws really quickly. I want to see like. No, let me get off of this. Featured. No, get me off of this right now. Campaign. First order. So, what I want to know is how do we get those fits? That's what has me interested. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to Dark Cloud. So I'm not even going to do my outro. If you want to see my outro, look at Dark Cloud Part 2. No, the fuck it is not. It is not Star Ocean the second story, or